All right, so our third sake is from Tsukinoi Brewery, and this is actually on the coast of Ibaraki.
Oh.
Yeah, it's right on the coast, and there's this really cool shrine gate, torii, that's nearby that the sun like rises like right through it in the morning. It's really cool. You should go
Cool.
see it
I
sometime.
love Ibaraki.
Anyway, this is actually a genshu, so it's a junmai genshu. So it is not diluted with water, and so it's 20% alcohol. And the name is Nanotsuki, and it's the polishing ratio or the milling ratio is 80%. So the ones we had before were maybe 60 or something like that. So this is only 20% of the rice has been removed.
Oh,
So
okay.
there's going to be a little bit of I can smell it from here, a little bit of a
Yeah.
stronger rice flavor with this. And since it's a genshu, they give a couple of different ways for enjoying it. If you can handle it strong, it can be drunk straight, but they also recommend watering it down to your preferred level of strength. And they suggest 3 parts of the sake to 2 parts water or hot water. And I've chosen to go with warm water because it's still kind of cool outside.
Yeah.
And I think it's nice to have a little bit of a contrast between the other things that we've been drinking. So try
And
that.
yeah, warm sake is a kind of challenging thing, I think.
And we're drinking out of kind of blue glasses, but it's a lot more
It's very yellowy.
yellow.
Yeah, it
very
is
yellow.
very yellowy. It's not super thick though, but the smell is very, like you can really smell like the koji in this. Like
Yeah.
how do you say
Koji, yeah, the koji.
Koji
yeah.
in English?
Koji
Okay.
rice, yeah. Yeah, it's very like
Wow.
grains, rice, nuts, that kind of thing going on.
It almost smells like a cheese. You know? And so we've had this with we really like it with like ones like these with nameko, like a
Oh, the kind of fermented mushrooms.
Korean, yeah, like oh no, what am I thinking of? Korean, like the pickled stuff. Like there's like the stringy mushrooms, and then the that sort of thing. What do we? I always miscall that.
Yeah, the stuff that's in bibimbap and stuff like that. It's
Anyway,
not
this might
nameko.
have to
It's
be
another
edited.
thing. Sorry.
Yeah, how do I say? I always forget what that's called.
Namuru.
Namudu. Okay. Anyway. Okay, so we've had.
This would be fantastic with namuru.
This
yeah.
would be really good with namudu, those Korean kind of like pickled vegetables. We really like. In the past we've really liked those things together. Ooh. It tastes like cheese. It tastes like a mild cheddar or like a mozzarella-y kind of. There's
Oh,
not
you're getting
mozzarella. But it's like, and it kind of coats your tongue a little bit, but not in an offensive way.
Yeah.
In like a oh, I'm in this now kind of way.
I mean, it is thick. If you don't, we've watered it down or diluted it. If you don't, it's pretty thick. It's pretty viscous and pretty strong. I'm getting more like a camembert or like brie.
Oh,
kind of
okay,
thing,
I see
you
that.
know?
I see that. Yeah. I wonder if this would be. I mean.
It's quite smooth and dry. It's very dry.
Yeah, it's very dry, but it's not offensively dry. Like this is, it's kind of it's a good way to push some boundaries without pushing too far. It's like a good way to like introduce something new, a new way of drinking it, but without it being like, oh, that's too strong in any which direction.
In my experience, people who aren't used to sake usually don't like this on its own. Don't like this style on its own. But once you start pairing it with food, they recognize how well this kind of sake goes with food, especially
Yeah.
warm sake. So it's something to keep in mind. Something like if you go to a brewery or you go to an event or something like that, a lot of the things that are going, and I've said this in my other videos, but a lot of the things that are going to appeal to you are the fresh, fruity, easy to drink things. But those are not always the things that are going to pair well with, things like cheeses or namuru or fermented dishes or meats. So it's always good to keep in mind that there's a time and a place for all types of sake.
Yeah, absolutely.
So our last sake is kind of a special sake in that the rice for it is grown by a rice grower, a farmer who specializes, only grows organic rice or organic produce in Chiba. And the name of his farm is Tsurukame Farm, which is tsuru is crane and kame is turtle. And so he grows the rice and then he produces the sake in conjunction with a nearby brewery. And the brewery is Kido-izumi, who is pretty well known for their aged sakes and also for their using less polished rice. And this rice is only polished to 90%.
Wow.
So only 10% of it is removed. And it's called Minamoto. And Minamoto means like origin. So it's kind of like the origin of, it's written on the back, but it's like the from the earth and from nature and things like that. So this is a very, there's organic sake and then there's natural sake, which is kind of like, like there's natural wines and stuff like that are kind of funky and everything. This is a natural sake that's going to be on the funky side.
I love funky. My friend and I call it barnyard funk. When you have a beer that's like, just like, you're like, I might be drinking dirt right now and I'm okay with it.
Would you mind holding mine?
Yeah,
just
of course,
it's hard
of course.
to pour.
It's, yeah.
And so, just a little note, I tasted this earlier today, and it's got a lot of acidity, and so this is not something that you want to drink out of a glass, or especially out of a thin-rimmed cup, because when you drink it out of glass or you drink it out of a thin rim, it's just going to accentuate that acidity. It's better to have, so what I've got is our wide cups with thicker rims, and also this is like a
clay.
Yeah, clay, just like an unglazed clay. So you want something that's more rustic for this style, because if you try to drink this in a flimsy little wine glass, you're not gonna like it.
Yeah, glasses
100%.
matter. And Aaron's motto seems to be all Nihonshu has its time and place. My motto is the glass matters.
It definitely matters.
For everything that you drink, think about it. Oh, whoa. Sorry, the smell is really crazy. This is so funky. It's
funky.
It's giving me a tinge of feet, but in like a good way.
Oh, you get feet? Okay. I get vinegar.
Okay, that is much.
Yeah, but not like there's a vinegar smell that's bad, and then there's a vinegar smell that's just like, oh, this is like a food, like a condiment. And I really feel this is like a condiment kind of smell that
This
I'm
smells like a food that I know.
Oh, natto. It smells like natto.
No, it's sweeter than natto to me.
It's like a
so
sweet
natto is like fermented soybeans. It's like it has like really stringy, really good.
To me, it smells like natto with the sweet sauce mixed into it.
I cannot put my finger on this. I wish that everyone smell this first and tell me.
Okay, let's taste it.
Oh my god, it smells like Cheese Whiz to me. That is weird. I don't even eat Cheese Whiz.
It's good though.
Or like, those like breadsticks that you used to dip in that little like, do you ever get those snack packs?
It smells like
little
that?
breadsticks with when you dip in the cheese, it smells like that. Sorry, I haven't even tasted it yet.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out the smell. Ooh. It tastes like a sour beer.
Yeah.
It's
definitely.
really good.
Yep.
You had a lot of sours back in the U.S. when you visited, right?
Yeah, definitely sour beer, farmhouse ale, sour beer kind of thing going on
This
here.
is I thought that with the first one, I was like, I know which one's my favorite. This one is giving it a run for its money.
It's very citrusy as well, though, right? Like I'm getting lots of like tangerine, mikan, mandarin.
It's not sour citrus, it's sweet citrus. I almost feel like I get like raspberry. But it's not as, it's still different from the first one. It's like a more earthy fruitiness. I'm actually really surprised at the clarity of this considering how unpolished the rice is. Usually you get a lot more like ricey rice flavor. This is so
The third one I think had a
bright.
lot of rice flavor, and this is I think the acidity is so high that it just like it's so clean on your tongue and things like
I
that.
love this. It's almost it's thicker, and it's almost like drinking a syrup, but not. It's not syrupy gross. It's like a homemade nice syrup. Like this is something that you would put on top of something. Like I always think I should put all like sweet nihonshu over kakigori, like shaved ice.
Well,
I'm always like, this could be good on shaved
other
ice.
people, that would be actually really good. Other people have kind of said that in the past. I think we said that with my aged sake. We talked about like that it might be good on shaved ice or on ice cream or something like that. But another thing to think about, especially when you're dealing with the heavier types of sake, is the difference between, I think with wine and beer, our perception is that it's something that refreshes your tongue. And so they have a lot more acidity and they have a lot more bitterness from the hops and things like that. But when you start to get with the heavier nihonshu, what I find is it's better to think of it as a condiment. Like it's something that you drink to actually flavor the food that you're eating it with. So like flavor the rice or flavor the vegetables that you're eating it with. Because Japanese food uses a lot of vinegar and a lot of koji-based flavorings, like the soy sauce and things like that. So it's kind of a different concept to think about sake in that way. So I think it's a really important thing to think about when you're dealing with something that maybe isn't something that you want to drink on the patio, but if you're thinking about what to mix with food, it's kind of something to keep in mind. Okay, well, we've drunk a lot and we've eaten a lot, and now we're going to talk about the things that we think went well together out of our organic sake and the vegetable dishes that we had. So the first one was the Tentaka Sparkling. And Selena, do you want to say what this worked well with?
Yeah, so this one, if you remember, this one was kind of like a cucumber melon, really refreshing kind of flavor. And we really liked it with, we had this like carrot and udo, which is like a root vegetable dish, and it had sesame oil. So that kind of roundness with the sesame oil balanced really well with this. I think Aaron kind of liked it with the omelet that we had. Maybe if the omelet was warm, I would have liked it, but I think something that has kind of some warmth to balance out that bright fruitiness is really nice.
Yeah, I think it worked with things that had texture. So the sparkling worked with things that had like a crunchy texture, like the carrots and the, like you said, the raw kind of vegetables. Thinking about keeping it fresh and with texture and things like that, and it will work well with things that are like that.
I think it kind of remains a picnic staple, things that are like fresh and crunchy and fun, and having that together, I think it kind of all matches really well.
And the second one was the Akane Sasu. And I was actually surprised that this went well with a lot of things, actually.
Yeah, it was really, I think it's almost kind of like a middle of the road nihonshu, middle of the road sake. So it kind of played well with more acidic things, more the kind of roundly flavored things, more mild things. It was a nice go-to.
Yeah, I think it's not too sweet and it's not too dry, so it sits kind of like right in the middle and can blend with a lot of things. I was also surprised the rich flavors of it, because it has such like
Depth.
Yeah, depth and like just what do I want to say, like not aggressive but full flavors. It went well with other things that were full flavored, which Selena couldn't eat, but we had like a chicken chicken braised in tomato with onion and garlic, and it was fantastic with that. So it's really going to go well with other things that have a real rich flavor, because it won't like lose out to those things.
Yeah, this one I think would go well with like some kind of Italian foods, or anything brighter and stronger. It was a really nice go-to, and we were like, oh, these are just not matching. We were like, oh, okay. Even if it doesn't complement something, I think it went well with it.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. It was easy drinking and really nice.
Yeah.
The third one was the Nanotsuki. And this one was a little more difficult.
Surprisingly so.
Yeah.
I thought it would pair with kind of everything, because it's this nutty, cheesy thing. But perhaps
and dry.
Perhaps it's because we had a very Japanese style meal that was playing with a lot of vinegar and playing with those kind of flavors. So actually it went really well with, we had bread and olive oil, and it went really well with the omelet. So we could imagine this going well with like Italian food.
Yeah, well, with pasta.
Pasta.
And also rice dishes and bread and things like that.
Like
I think
rounder flavors.
Yeah, and I think because it has it kind of grainy flavor to it to begin with, it's going to pair with similar grainy flavors. And then the last one was the Minamoto, made by Tsurukame in conjunction with Kido Izumi. And this, I felt that the bright citrusy flavor really went well with the beets. And the beets have kind of a funky, rooty, earthy flavor also.
Yeah, these had like a vinegary note. They were like a vinegar kind of sauce.
Yeah, and this one also went with the satoimo though too as well.
Yeah, and the carrots. I really loved the carrot salad. The carrot salad had a kind of citrus called kinkan. Kinkan? Well, how do you?
Kinkan.
Kinkan loquat?
Loquat, yeah.
Yeah, kinkan in it. And so, and the beets often go well with like a citrus zest.
Oh no, I think it's kumquat.
Oh.
Loquat is biwa.
Biwa.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
sorry, kumquat.
So kumquat, yeah.
Sorry. Thank you. So kinkan or loquat. That one.
Kumquat.
Kumquat. Anything that goes well with citrus. Went really well with this one because it has like gentle citrus notes, so it balanced them really well. Yeah, I liked that one a lot with those.
Okay, so out of these four, was there anyone that you felt like really stood out to you?
Actually, the pairing changed my standing
Okay.
with these because I like, for example, the third one that was kind of cheesy and nutty. I was like, oh, this can go with anything, and then it turned out that it couldn't go with anything of this plate that we were doing. And then the first one was also a little bit difficult. The second one could go with anything but wasn't so interesting. I think the fourth one kind of won this for me, just for general interest, and it's really easy to drink.
Yeah, I think a lot of people who aren't used to Nihonshu or aren't used to sake would be kind of shocked by the way that this tastes.
Absolutely.
So it's worth like maybe seeking out. A lot of things that are available in the United States or overseas are usually light or fruity or dry, easy drinking, something like that.
Or even sometimes they pack a punch just because they feel like they should. Like it's like a nihonshu.
Oh yeah, like a very typical kind of nihonshu. But this is something that I think a lot of people would be shocked by when they drink it. Like, this is nihonshu, this is sake.
Right.
Like on its own, it might come across as very strong. But I think like that citrusy note and the acidity can really match with a variety of things. My other pick would be the Akane Sasu because I'm used to drinking fruit forward junmai ginjo and things like that. But this was like fruit forward, but also worked well with a lot of things.
Full body.
Yeah, it just I was very pleasantly surprised that it wasn't overpowering things with its fruitiness and stuff like that. I don't know, it just worked well with a lot of things. So this would be my second choice.
I totally agree with that. I think it's kind of fun. I think that there's Nihonshu sake is such an expansive world that it can be really hard to narrow it down. So I think for me it was really cool to see, these are all organic. And I think that because they were kind of thinking differently about their Nihonshu already, they were thinking, I want to make this organic, that they kind of went even further with that. And we're like, how can we play with these flavors and develop them? I feel like these were all made really thoughtfully, and they were all really, really good.
So I hope that we've given you an idea of the different types of organic sake that they are. Organic sake is not going to be all the same kind of flavors or the same kinds of pairings that you can do with it. There's a lot of variety in that category. So if you can find it where you are, definitely give it a try. Don't be put off by, a couple dollars more of the price or something. It may be something that's really worth trying. So until my next video, keep exploring sake.